Okay, guys. Well, tonight is going to be a beef vegetable stew, and I just got all the stuff laid out here. You can see. I'm going to cut up this beef. Got this beef on sale. Sirloin, petite sirloin steaks. I'm going to cut those up into cubes. I'm going to fry it in avocado oil. Get those fried up. Then I'm going to add the chopped up onions. Get that in there. And everything you see here goes into the stew. It's pretty simple. As far as the flavorings go, any of your favorite flavorings, remember there's a lot of salt in these kinds of things. You don't want to add additional salt. Okay. And I put a little Worcestershire sauce. Got basil and thyme. And there's this anything rub stuff. It's got salt, pepper, garlic, and other spices. Chicken broth. Okay. Diced tomatoes. Red potatoes. Carrots. Celery. And that's pretty much all that's going into it. Okay. So, let's get that meat chopped up. So I got the meat in the pot with the oil, and we're searing the beef chunks now. When you sear beef, it brings out flavors in the beef. So this is why you take the time to sear the beef and get a crust on the beef. This will all cook, of course, as the soup cooks, but you want to start with good seared beef. It brings out delicious flavors in the meat. I did add some of the dry herbs to it, the seasonings, the rub, and the Johnny seasoning salt. This is all kind of to taste, you can always adjust later. You just don't want to over salt any kind of stew, because then it's kind of hard to make it unsalty. I'm going to let that cook for a bit. Start chopping up more some of the other vegetables that need to be chopped. Carrots and celery and potatoes. All that. Okay. And onions. Alright. With the beef now, you can see I've got it browned pretty well. It's got a nice crust on it. Can you see that beef? And that really brings out the flavors of the beef. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the onions. Yeah. And again, you just want to get the onions to where they're starting to become translucent. They cook pretty fast. Starts to smell pretty good. We'll let those onions cook down a little bit. And we'll get our other things ready. After that, we're going to add our celery, carrots, mushrooms, the garlic, the tomato stuff, chicken broth, of course, and then we're going to put the potatoes last. Make sure they cook just right. If you put potatoes in too soon, they'll cook too long and they'll disappear. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and onions are cooked now pretty well, so I'm going to add the carrots and the celery and just start adding the rest of the stuff. I'm going to go ahead and pour in the chicken broth. It's starting to look like a soup. Stew. It's going to be pretty chock full of stuff. I got a lot of potatoes to put in there. All kinds of good stuff. So when the soup is basically done and you taste it and you think it needs a little more salt, that's when you can go to some more of this stuff if you want. or just salt. You can put salt in there. But I'm going to add some ground thyme and some basil also. I'm going to get this brought up to a boil, and I'll get back to you. So I'm going to let this simmer for about a half an hour to make that beef nice and tender and the carrots soft. So there's all kinds of goodness in there. And then I'll add the potatoes. Alright, so I'm just going to let that simmer for about a half an hour. Alright, so there we have it. Now I like a little more body in my broth, so I actually thicken this up by putting 1/3 cup of flour in a couple cups of warm water and whisking it together, and then putting it in the soup. And you got to cook it on low for at least a good 10 or 12 minutes, and then it gives it this, you get a thicker broth like this. Alright, but there's your stew, and boy, the meat is tender, all the vegetables are tender and delicious, and that's it. So enjoy. Mama's gonna enjoy some. Okay, bye-bye, love ya.